Well, welcome in, friends, as we get set for a night of baseball here in Southeast Texas. As always, I'm Rob Pipp. Thanks for joining us here across the SHN Sports Broadcast Network. We are moments away from first pitch. We are live here in New Waverly, Texas. We'll go over the starters for you in just a few moments. It is a beautiful night for baseball, and we are proud to have this last regular season game also broadcasting back at home in Huntsville on Spirit 94.3. We want to welcome in the radio audience tonight. Let us know that you're out there. You can text us. Our lines are open at 512-522-9105. You can text us. As always, the Bulldog fan text line is open, again at 512-522-9105. Well, as I just said, this is the final game of the regular season. And New Waverly comes in after a tough loss just a few nights ago on the road at Anderson-Shiro, and they are looking to rebound. I said a few nights ago that was back on Friday, but tonight a familiar foe, the Trinity Tigers, who they handedly took care of business earlier in this season. New Waverly comes in right now third in the district. That's probably where they'll go ahead and end up. They'll finish third here in 23-3A. 6 wins and 3 losses heading into this one tonight, although really they're not going to climb higher than that because they lost 2 to Onalaska, and Anderson-Shiro holds the lead in the district at 8-1. So Anderson-Shiro there at the top, Onalaska at 7-2, New Waverly at 6-3. Cold Spring right behind them, holding on to that 4th spot as playoffs probably getting underway next week. Again, we are happy to be here tonight, and we'll call it for you as this one goes on. And we do appreciate you for being with us here across the SHN Sports and the Bulldog Broadcast Network. On the mound tonight, getting the start for New Waverly, it is Peyton Rayleigh, Max Tomzak the catcher, Action Jackson Hathorn over at first, Colin Conover at second tonight, Trevor Twiderski getting his start over at third base, the shortstop Jace Card, and then from left to right it's Daniel Nixon, Otto Weinland, and Ryan Sanderson. Leading off for Trinity as we're about to get underway here in the top of the first, it is the pitcher Hunter Ogden. First pitch on the way, and corner strike called. An early 0-1 count here. Your umpires tonight from the Tasso Division at College Station. On the field is Patrick Gernez, and the home plate is David Faulkner. We appreciate those gentlemen for being here tonight, again coming in from College Station to help keep this game rolling smoothly. Next one swung on and hit, goes foul, and it takes us to an 0-2 count. We always love to interact, as I said, so please let us know that you're out there tonight, whether you're on the stream. And how about that? Got him looking. 1, 2, 3. And a nice start here. 3 pitches and a strikeout on Hunter Ogden. It'll bring up the shortstop, number 4, Austin Beasley. Ty Ramey already joining us on the social media feed tonight. It's good to see you, Ty. Thanks for letting us know that you're out there. It's a right-handed pitch to the right-handed batting, and this one across the corner for a strike on Beasley. His early count 0-1. Trinity coming off of a 2-game, there are 2 wins here in district coming on the last 2 games. Next pitch, this one swung on, and thank goodness the chain link is there. I would have lost my left eye. It's an 0-2 count. We are high up in the press box, and appreciate public address announcer and Coach Larry Carlson for letting us hang out up here with him tonight. Here's the 0-2. That one right at the ear hole. It's a ball and 2 strikes. It is a beautiful night. This game got pushed back to tonight instead of tomorrow night as originally scheduled. 100% chance of rain in the forecast. Here's one swung up. An infield fly here as Card will be able to make the easy grab for the second out. 2 away. Take us third in the order to the center fielder, David Alexander.
Number 8.
No wind out here at all tonight. The flag over at right center is at a perfect standstill here at New Waverly Bulldog Baseball Park. Here's the first pitch on the way to Alexander. High to the outside from the right arm of Rayleigh. It's only the second ball that he's thrown here, facing the third batter, just underway, top of the first, no score, 2 away. Here's the next pitch. This one swung on, goes foul, probably hits my truck. It's 1-1. There is some light rain just outside of the area at Conroe right now. We're not seeing that here. Here's the 1-1. A little close to the inside. Thought that one would be called strike. It was not. 2 balls and a strike. Rain chances will increase as the night goes on, and hopefully it'll stay away before this one's over. Here's the next pitch. Swung around and a miss to take us to 2-2. Right now, 63 degrees. It's a little cool outside. And we'll take it here as we are late in April. Here's the next offering. This one swung on and goes foul off the handle of the bat. It'll stay alive here for David Alexander. Trinity under Coach Reese Robinette, second year as their head coach. Here's the next pitch. This one swung on, foul off the third baseline. As I mentioned, New Waverly coming off some pretty big wins versus Crockett, 25-6 back on the 14th. And then on Friday night, check this out, 24-14 is a football score there versus Crockett in the two wins. Those are the two lone wins for Trinity this season, getting them against the Crockett Bulldogs. Next pitch to the outside. Take us to our first full count at 3-2. Here's Rayleigh's delivery. And that was a late call walk. As that one, I thought for a moment, may have got across the plate, but they're going to say a walk. So a two-out walk for David Alexander, and that will take us fourth in the order. The first baseman, Christian Vaughn. And wearing number 50, as Ty Stutler was giving me the numbers, I don't know if I've seen 50 in high school baseball. And this is a hard hit over to right center. And how about that for Vaughn, as he'll have a two-out single. And Trinity trying to round the edge over there to third. The young man fell down. And New Waverly may trap him over here as he's running back and forth. Tomczak going after him, tags him on the back, and that'll retire it. How about that for Max Tomczak? It was the young man Alexander out there as he rounded second, came to third, and was trying to go that extra mile. And luckily Tomczak had an eye on him and was able to tag him out for the third and final out. That was a good hit by Vaughn. And that will be it, a 1-2-3 finally there for New Waverly. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left on. And we are through the first half of an inning. More to come as we continue tonight live on the Bulldog Broadcast Network and also back at home in Huntsville on Spirit 94.3. This is New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. We'll be back after this. All right, back at it, friends, as we continue on tonight. Underwriting support for this program tonight is made possible by the Oak Ridge Disciple House. They are a Christian character building ministry helping men overcome drug and alcohol addictions. Their website is oakridgedisciplehouse.com. We'll have more underwriters for this as we go along. Thanks for hanging out with us as we are through that first half of an inning. For those of you watching on social media tonight, I'll get that scoreboard updated. We'll see New Waverly at bat for the first time tonight. I'll go over those starters here in just a few moments. Again, we would love to hear from you. You can always text us on our Bulldog fan text line. It's open tonight at 512-522-9105. New Waverly tonight will start leading off the second baseman Colin Conover. Batting second, the shortstop Jace Card, and then it'll be the catcher Max Tomczak. That's your 1, 2, and 3. The heart of the order, first baseman Action Jackson Hathorn, followed by the left fielder Daniel Nixon, and batting sixth, the center fielder Otto Wineland. And then to bottom it out tonight, the third baseman, the heart of the team. It's the third baseman who's getting hits tonight, Trevor Trudersky, the right fielder Ryan Sanderson, and then last but certainly not least, the pitcher Peyton Rayleigh. And I said Trudersky getting hits because I want to speak that into existence. Here's the first pitch on the way, right up the middle on Hunter Ogden, as Conover is a nice leadoff single, and what a hard hit is that one, hopped around the mound over there. Hunter Ogden, the pitcher, and again a leadoff single here for Colin Conover. So New Waverly already on. There was one more matchup this season for the Bulldogs versus this New Waverly team. You know, a lot of teams they would play back-to-back, but they did not do that against Trinity as New Waverly started district play on the road at Trinity, a 22-0 stamping. That was all the way back on March the 20th. A month ago is when district play got underway. And again, a 22-0. That was a run rule win game for the Bulldogs, and they'll hope to do the same here tonight to even up and round out this district play in the regular season. Here's the pitch to Jace Card. Over to left center, another base hit. New Waverly with runners on 1 and 2. A great job there by Conover, able to run his way over to second, and he's safe. And now trying to stretch his way out and steal to third, and he does. He just barely got out of the tag of the baseman. And Conover will put New Waverly on the hot corners after the stolen base. It's Card over at 1, Conover at 3. And now here's Max Tomczak. It's Tomahawk Tomczak. And New Waverly in some pretty slick uniforms tonight. Cream-colored white uniforms with the numbers in maroon. Bulldogs, cursive font on the front, the maroon helmets. But the uniforms, beautiful ones here at home tonight. Runner taken off, trying to steal over to second, and in time, and now trying to come home and still home. And I think he's thrown out at home. Tough for Conover as he is thrown out at home for the first out. Jace Card with the stolen base over to second. Tomczak waiting here. New Waverly again coming off of a 13-3 tough loss on Friday night on the road at Anderson-Shiro. They defeated Anderson-Shiro. That was the only loss in district play, by the way, for the Owls so far. And they put a whipping on them, 8-1 back on the 14th, but could not find a W on the road. Here's the next pitch on the way. Called strike to even us at 1-1 on Max Tomahawk Tomczak. Enjoyed getting to know Max's family. Great folks here in New Waverly. Next pitch, oh! And he'll take the bruiser. The tattoo shop is opening, so Tomczak will reach on a one-out bruiser, as I call him. Bring up fourth in the order of the first baseman, Action Jackson Hathorn. So runners now for New Waverly on 1 and 2. We are one away. Jackson Hathorn, right-handed batter. Trinity tonight in their black jerseys, the orange trim. First pitch on the way, a swing around and a miss here on Action Jackson. Trying to find my extra set of eyes up here, not glasses, but my binos. Runners on 1 and 2 for New Waverly, no score. Here in the bottom of the first, one away. Ogden set to deliver. Here's the pitch. This one bounces around on the catcher on a wild pitch, and runners will advance to 1 and 2. Card over to third. Tomczak over to second. So now both runners in scoring position for New Waverly. Hunter Ogden, the glove to his face, stands on the bump. Left-handed pitch on the way to the right-handed batter. This one too far to the outside on Action Jackson. Count here ahead, 2-1. Also want to shout out to Coach Paul joining us from Temple, Texas on the YouTube stream. Thanks for hanging out with us. Here's the next pitch, high upstairs. The attic door is open, 3-1. And so some options now here for Action Jackson. Ogden set to deliver. Here's the pitch. This one also low in the dirt. And how about a one-out walk for Jackson? And so now ducks on a pond for New Waverly at 1, 2, and 3. We'll reset the count. Bottom of the first, one away, and an opportunity here for Nixon to start cooking some steaks, the ribeyes. Nixon, the left fielder, batting fifth. Right-handed batter, that right foot down to the lower quadrant of the box. Here's the pitch high to the outside off the left hand of Ogden. Jace Gamble, the catcher tonight. Over at first is Christian Vaughn, followed by Jacavian Petty over at second. Xavier Arredondo at third. Austin Beasley, the shortstop for Trinity. And from left to right, it's Matthew Bass, David Alexander, and Bond. 2 quick pitches to the outside. Here's the 2-0, swing and a miss. Got a Bulldog to bite and miss the meat. It's 3-1. Or 2-1, rather. Here's the 2-1 pitch, this time to the outside. And now it's 3-1. I was just trying to speak ahead one extra pitch. 3-1 count, bases loaded for New Waverly. A walk here would force in a run. Here's the next pitch. High upstairs, and New Waverly takes the lead. Jace Card will come in for that scoring run. Tom Zach over to third, Hathorn to second, and Daniel Nixon reaching on the walk. So again, a 1-0 score here. New Waverly early in the bottom of the first. And a quick mound discussion will happen right away here for Trinity. We'll take that break with them. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball live tonight on the SHN Sports, Bulldog Broadcast Network, and also Spirit 94.3. A bunt is placed, and a beautiful one it is, as that will score in a run. How about that for Otto Wineland? He placed that bunt beautifully as it took a soft roll right over to the left of home plate. No opportunity for Ogden or Gamble to get to it quick enough. Tom Zach will come in to score. Hathorn over to third, Nixon to second, and Otto Wineland. How about that with the bunt? And an RBI single. The stakes are cooking here for New Waverly. 2-0 Bulldog advantage here in the bottom of the first, and one away. So again, pretty solid that New Waverly, a pretty tight race here down the wire, but Anderson Shiro taking care of business to pretty much lock in that top seed. New Waverly's going to hold out at 3 heading into the playoffs. Now a runner getting stranded out here, and an error will bring in. How about that for New Waverly? As Action Jackson was able to come in for a moment, looked like he was going to get tagged, and then the ball popped out of Gamble's glove there, the catcher. And Hathorn comes in and scores on the first error of the night. Counting here on Twiderski, by the way. He's up to bat now. I call him the heart of this team. He's a great young man. We see him come in and run for players, but he's batting tonight. And here's a 1-0 swing high up into the air. This one will ricochet off the top of the box, back off the fence, and into the crowd, and to grandmother's house we go. Count it 1-1. One's across the board. 3-0 Bulldog advantage. And runners at 2 and 3. Ogden's delivery on the way. Swung on. Over to right center. Scooped up and a ground out to second. Jacavian Petty, but he'll still be credited with another stake, and Daniel Nixon comes in to score. We are 2 away on the ground out. Twiderski gets the RBI. Wineland makes his way over to third, and here's Ryan Cinderson. 4-0 advantage, New Waverly. with 2 away here in the bottom of the first. It's the left-handed pitching from Ogden to the left-handed bat of Ryan Cinderson. Here's the pitch. Pulled back. This one pops into the backstop, and a good job by Gamble trying to chase that one down. 1-0 early count here on Cinderson. This first matchup, New Waverly batted around almost the entire lineup, getting to bat twice in the first inning back on March the 20th. May not be the case here, though, tonight, but we are in 2-out territory. Here's the pitch. Corner strike, and a good pitch there by Ogden on the fastball. That'll even us up at 1-1. Again, appreciate all of you for joining us here tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch, 2 away, high. For a ball, it's 2-1. We always enjoy hearing from you. Text us. Let us know you're out there. 512-522-9105. Now the 2-1. That one in the dirt just in front of the plate. Gamble getting behind it takes us to 3-1. Again, that runner remains over at third is Otto Wineland, who had the RBI single, the bunt that brought in one. Next pitch called strike. It came right across the zone to take us to a full count at 3-2. Here's the payoff. Swung on, this one over to left center. The RBI again. The stakes are on the grill, and New Waverly picks up their 5th run. An RBI single from Ryan Cinderson. That will bring in Otto Wineland and takes us to the bottom of the order, the pitcher, Peyton Rayleigh. 5-0 advantage Bulldogs with Rayleigh at bat. Here's the pitch to the outside. Here's the next pitch. This one drops in. Good off-speed pitch for a strike. It's 1-1 on Peyton Rayleigh. Some of our audio may chop up from time to time if you're listening on Spirit. And that's just because of our satellite signal. But most of it's getting through, so we're going to keep it right here. Here's the 1-1. It's out of the zone for another ball. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Rayleigh at the bottom. If he can get on, we will have batted around. Now the runner will take off over at first, trying to chase him down and tag him. Cinderson is out there. Back and forth he goes, and he is tagged out for the 3rd and final out. Good job by Christian Vaughn out there with Jacavian Petty. But New Waverly off to a commanding 5-0 lead. They get those 5 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on. Again, it's New Waverly 5, Trinity nothing. We're through 1 here at Bulldog Baseball Park in beautiful New Waverly, Texas. We'll take a break. More to come. Stay with us. This is the Bulldog Broadcast Network on Spirit 94.3. Back at it, friends, as we were just trying to change some of our audio. We may go a couple more innings here and then go back to music on Spirit 94.3. Next pitch is on the way, and a swing and a miss here to Matthew Bass. He's at 0-2. That previous batter, by the way, we led off with Jace Gamble. It was a 3-2 payoff, and he was out as the pitcher threw it over to first. So we are one away. Here's the 0-2. 0-3, swing and a miss. And a quick 2 up, 2 down. That was Matthew Bass being struck out there by Peyton Rayleigh.
Brings up to DH Garcia.
John Garcia, the designated hitter. Here's the pitch on the way to him. Swing and a miss. A fastball there. It's 0-1. Top of the second we are. We are 2 outs here. Nobody on for Trinity. Here's a swing and a foul into the chain link fence backstop. We count at 1-2. Here's the next pitch. Drop it in. And a 1-2-3 kind of inning for the Bulldogs and Peyton Rayleigh as Garcia watched that one come across. And he was struck out. Rayleigh got him. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left on. And a quick top of the second. We're through 1.5. Bottom of the second coming up when we come back. This is New Waverly Bulldog Baseball on SHN. Welcome back at it, friends, as we continue on. Hunter Ogden getting the warm-up pitches here as we're about to get started in the bottom of the second inning. New Waverly leading 5-0. Leading off here for New Waverly, we'll go down to Peyton Rayleigh, who was still at bat whenever Senderson was out. Here's the first pitch on the way. Hard hit, but up in the air. Shortstop Beasley getting under it and an easy grab. 1 pitch, 1 out, over to short. Take us to the top of the order, the second baseman, Colin Conover. He's 1 for 1 today. Singled back in the first. Stolen base over to third, but then he was thrown out. Here's the first pitch to him. This one hops up to the bump. Great grab by Ogden and a little toss over to first. And how about that? It's a quick 2 up, 2 down. On a routine 1-3 for the second out. That'll take us to second in the order. Jace Card, the shortstop. Boy, 2 pitches and 2 outs. Trinity would like to see more of that. Card 1 for 1 today. Single, stolen base, a wild pitch, and then came around and scored. I think it was on the Wineland RBI. First pitch on the way. And out of the zone for a ball, it's 1-0. Here's the next pitch. This one swung on, fouled off of the first base side behind the Trinity dugout. That'll even us up at a ball and a strike. A lot of fun being able to bring you some sports coverage here on Spirit 94.3. We have other underwriters we'll mention as well. Here's the 1-1. Boy, that was close to the left knee of Card, and luckily it just moved out of there. 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Swung on over to right. Bond trying to track it down. He can't make the grab. And card on the error over to first.
Card reaches on the air. Brings up the tomahawk. Max Tomczak.
So card there on the E9. That will bring us to third in the order. The catcher, Max Tomczak. Tomczak waiting to step in and now gets the go-ahead. Ogden, delivery on the way to Tomczak, too close to the inside. It's 1-0. (102) away. New Waverly leads 5-0. Here's the next pitch, too far to the outside. And a quick 2 balls on Max Tomczak. Toss over to first as Ogden keeping an eye over there on Jace Card, who reached on the air out to right field just moments ago. Ogden to Christian Vaughn. Vaughn over at first wearing the 5-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This one also high to the inside. 3 balls, no strikes on Tomahawk Tomczak. He's got some good options here. Great night for baseball here on this April the 20th. Here's the next pitch. Another one high to the inside. He'll reach on a 2-out walk.
Max draws a 2-out walk.
So card over to second, and that will take us to fourth in the order, cleaning up. Action, Jackson, Hathorn. And we will see that runner come in now for Tomczak. Jace Wills over at first. So Jace Wells over at first to run for Tomahawk. Action Jackson waiting on the pitch. Runners on 1 and 2 for New Waverly. Here's the pitch. Runner will take off, trying to do a double steal, slide, dive, safe at third, safe at second. So card over to third. And Wells running for Tomczak over to second. And Axon Jackson finds himself up 1-0. So a 1-0 count, 2 away. Runners now on 2 and 3, both in scoring position for New Waverly with a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Here's one hard hit way up into the air and caught in foul territory. Give that to Christian Vaughn for the third and final out. So for New Waverly, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We are through 2. Top of the third coming up when we come back. This is New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. Live tonight on the Bulldog Broadcast Network, SHN Sports on YouTube, and on Spirit 94.3. Stay with us. Welcome back, friends, as we continue on tonight. Final regular season game for both of these teams. Playoffs on the horizon for New Waverly. Trinity will not make it this year. A great group of young men. And New Waverly more than likely will stay in that third spot regardless of what happens here tonight. Underwriting support for this broadcast is made possible in part by G3 Give God Glory. It's Give God Glory Baseball, a youth baseball organization offering players an opportunity from 8U to 16U. More information is available on their Facebook page, G3-Give God Glory Baseball. Underwriting support for this coverage also made possible in part by Mata's Tactical Supply. Keeping families safe. Their website online, matastacticalsupply.com. Here's Rayleigh's first pitch. Xavier Ordindo, the first pitch on the way to him is 0-1. It was a strike. Next pitch to Ordindo is a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Hard swing takes us to 1-2. Here's the next pitch. Ooh, looked close, but no cigar, 2-2. It's a beautiful pitch there by Rayleigh. Here's his next delivery, quickly in rhythm. Ooh, curve to the outside. Take us to a full count at 3-2. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss for the first out.
Brings up second baseman, Petty.
4 in a row retired now for Rayleigh as you go back to the second. Takes us down to the bottom of the order, the second baseman, Jacavian Petty. Here's the first pitch to the right-handed batter, showing bunt, pulls back, ball, 1-0. We are 1 away here in the top of the third. New Waverly leads 5-0. This one moving along fast tonight. Here's the next pitch. Fastball, corner painting for the strike. It's 1-1. Rayleigh's next delivery on the way. Over to third, Tradersky, but short is Card, trying to make the throw to first. Got him! How about that for Jace Card? It was a great effort by Tradersky, but Card was there at short to scoop it up and threw an absolute dart over to Action Jackson for the second out. On the ground to short.
Back to the top of the lineup for Trinity.
That will take us back to the top of the order. Number 2, the pitcher, Hunter Ogden, who is 0 for 1. He struck out looking on an 0-2 for the first out to lead off this game. And we did get underway, by the way, about 6:56 here. A couple of seniors on this game tonight. I think it was Colin Conover and Jackson Hathorn, if I'm not mistaken. First pitch on the corner. The paintbrush is out. It's 0-1. Here's the next pitch, a swing and a miss, 0-2. Rayleigh has been firing these quickly tonight. Left leg up, right-handed pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off the third base line. And Ogden will stay in. So he'll tap the bat on home plate. And now Rayleigh's 0-2 delivery. That one in front of the plate took a bounce in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I was asked years ago when I lived in Georgetown to throw out the first pitch, and it was not good. Curve to the outside, stays out, 2-2. What happened was the person that was supposed to do it didn't show up, so they just ran up to the press box and said, "Hip, will you do it for us?" I said, "Sure." This one hit foul over the press box. The count remains 2-2. 2's across the board, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him for the third. And final out. And Rayleigh in rhythm now. 5 strikeouts for Rayleigh. And he has retired 6 in a row. We'll take a break. More to come as we're through 2.5. New Waverly leads 5-0 over Trinity in the final regular season game before playoffs start next week. This is Bulldog Baseball on SHN and the Bulldog Broadcast Network, proudly broadcasting tonight on Spirit 94.3. Welcome back at it, friends, as we get rocking and rolling right back into this one. Daniel Nixon at bat now. First pitch from Ogden high to the outside. We will go 5, 6, and 7 for New Waverly. This one's swung on to the backstop. 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Daniel Nixon. Oh, for today, reached on a walk, came around and scored. I believe it was on the Centerson RBI. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the first strikeout of the night for Ogden.
Brings up out of Wineland.
6th in the order now, the center fielder, Otto Wineland. Wineland 1 for 1. The RBI single back in the first, came around and scored. The 5th mark that is currently on the board. First pitch, a ball, 1-0. Again, let us know that you're out there tonight. If you're on the Spirit Radio side of things too, we'd love to hear from you. Every once in a while we get to bring you some sports here on Spirit 94.3. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Boy, that one looked high to the inside, but called strike, 1-1. You can always text us on the Bulldog fan text line, 936-339-0139. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. That's actually our Spirit line. You can text us on the Bulldog fan text line at 512-522-9105. Here's a 1-2 pitch. This one chopped foul off the third base line. And Wineland will stay here on a 1-2. Nobody on. New Waverly leads 5-0 here in the bottom of the third. It's been all cloudy here tonight. Rain earlier. A few sprinkles. Here's the 1-2. Ooh. Boy, he just barely moved that shoulder out of the way. That would have been another bruiser. And they counted 2-2. Tomczak's the one that took the bruiser earlier. Here's the next pitch, high upstairs, and that'll take us to a full count. So a nice battle back here for Wineland. Ogden set to deliver the payoff pitch with nobody on. Here's the pitch to the outside, and a one-out walk for Otto Wineland. Boy, I'll tell you what, the smell of popcorn is making its way upstairs here, and it smells good. These concession folks here do a great job helping to support these young men. It's Trevor Trudersky now, 7th in the order. Third baseman, here's the first pitch to him, to the outside. Trudersky grounded out to second for the second out, but RBI brought in 1 for New Waverly. Back in the first. Finds himself right now ahead 1-0 early. Here's the next pitch. Hard over to the bump. Opportunity for a double play. Thrown out at second, thrown out at first, and that is great defensive work. So a double play as Otto Weinland is out and Trudersky is out for the third and final out. So for New Waverly, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And we are through 3. Top of the 4th coming up. When we come back, it's New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. Live tonight on the Bulldog Broadcast Network. Stay with us, friends. Due up here for Trinity, 2, 3, and 4, Austin Beasley, David Alexander, and Christian Vaughn. As we get started here in the top of the 4th inning. 5-0, New Waverly leads. 6 in a row retired here by Peyton Rayleigh in the first pitch.
Batting here is Beasley for Trinity.
Out of there for the ball, it's 1-0. Next one, hard hit foul off the third base side. That one will drop.
Strike 1.
Well over the fence. Takes us to 1-1. Next one too close to the inside for a ball. It's 2-1. Again, top of the 4th, nobody on. 2-1 count here to Trinity. They are trailing 5-0. Here's the next pitch. Hard hit over Trudersky. Here's Jace Card trying to make the snag. That would have been a tough one. And a leadoff single for Beasley.
Brings up number 8, Alexander.
So bring up third in the order, the center fielder, David Alexander. 0 for today, reached on a walk on a payoff pitch. Then was thrown out for the third out back in the first. Rayleigh's pitch on the way, hard hit foul as it goes over the fence off the first base side. The early count here is 0-1 on David Alexander. 0-1, one runner on for Trinity, trailing 5-0 here in the top of the 4th. Rayleigh, here's the pitch. Runner will take off, trying to steal. Tomczak throws over to Card, tag, he's out.
Thrown out by the tomahawk. And Tomczak is up next.
Tomahawk Tomczak with a nice throw over there, and Card able to snag it down and make the tag in time, and that'll clear the base paths. 1 away. And the count at 2-1 here on David Alexander. Here's the 2-1, fouled to even us up at 2-2. Alexander for the moment stepped out. Now he'll step back in. Here's the pitch.
Nice pitch, Peyton.
And so Peyton just dropped that one in there. How about that for the second out?
Brings up first baseman, number 50, Vaughn.
David Faulkner, the home plate umpire, was checking that one down over at first. Patrick Gerners, and he said yes, he's out. 2 away. The first pitch out of the area there for Christian Vaughn. It's a 1-0 early count, 2 away, and nobody on for Trinity, trailing 5-0. Right across the plate, fastball for the strike, 1-1. Here's the next pitch. It was almost a shave pitch, and Vaughn's got the beard out there. It may have taken a few whiskers off. Here's the 2-1. I mean, that young man looks like a grown young man out there. I know he's a great player for this team, and he loves the game, that's for sure. And what I like about him, he doesn't really have the baseball look. But I love it. Here's the 3-1. High up and a good eye there, and he's going to reach on a walk. So credit that young man. Vaughn will reach on a 2-out walk.
To bring up Gamble.
Jace Gamble, the catcher, batting 5th. He's 0 for 1. Grounded one up to the bump for the first out back in the second. Right-handed pitch to the right-handed batter. Just out of the reach, 1-0 count here with a runner on 1. Tom Zach's going to have a quick chat with Rayleigh. And the ump, that one may have ricocheted off the ump as well. He's down there kind of walking it off. And tell you what, you can't walk those off too easily. Again, as I mentioned earlier, David Faulkner, the home plate umpire from Tasso out of College Station. So 2 great gentlemen had a chance to catch up. Didn't have a chance to talk to David. I've met David before. Patrick Gerners, though, I've talked to him before, and he played some college ball, I think, over at Midwestern. Great man out there. And I always say these guys, they don't do it for the money. They do it for the love of the game. They may earn a few little scratch dollars on the side, but it's not about the money because it's not much. It's about the love, and they just love being out here and doing it. A little bit of time here as Faulkner is walking a few things off. That's what I remember about Faulkner when I met him before. He always likes to talk and have a conversation with the crowd. He makes the game fun. You don't see a lot of those guys. Normally if they're talking, they're telling you to settle down. He's down there just chatting. Here's a bunt placed up to the bump and a routine throw for the 3rd and final out. Good job there from Rayleigh to Hathorn. Gamble is out, and we are 3 away on a routine 1-3. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a 1 left on. That's how we'll do things here in the top of the 4th. We're through 3.5. And the bottom of the 4th coming up when we come back on SHN. This is New Waverly Bulldog Baseball. The Bulldogs have the lead 5-0. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back at it. Tonight's game here on SHN at Spirit 94.3 is made possible in part by Texas Signature Roofing. They specialize in insurance restoration and all types of roofing. Their website online, texassignatureroofing.com. Also, underwriting support is made possible by My Community Mortgage, Karen Hybner. Her email address, karen@mychomeloans.com. And also underwriting support for this broadcast made possible in part by HITTSS Solutions, helping to instruct the Stars to Shine baseball player development. Their website, HITTSS.com. And a bruiser thrown here to Ryan Sanderson. Hit by pitch, he'll reach over to first. So one pitch, one bruise, one base. As we are underway here in the bottom of the fourth. Take us to the bottom now, Peyton Rayleigh. Rayleigh 0 for 1 as he had an infield fly over too short for the first out back in the second. Rayleigh's eagerly awaiting Ogden. Here's the pitch. Low to the inside. Count at 1-0. Ogden slowing down now as he does have that runner over at first to keep an eye on, and he'll toss over to first to Vaughn. Base runner safe. That is Sanderson, who reached on the hit by pitch just a few moments ago. Again, bottom of the fourth, New Waverly 5-0 advantage. All 5 of those runs coming in the fourth. They have not scored in the last 3. I'd like to go ahead and just put 5 more up and call it in the fifth. Here's a swing, hard hit left, and a base hit for New Waverly, and runners on 1 and 2. So Rayleigh over to first, and Sanderson advances to second. We'll go back to the top. It's Colin Conover. 1 for 2. Colin singled in the first, stole over to second, thrown out in that inning. And then grounded one up to the bump on a 1-2 or on a 1-3 for the second out back in the second. Runners on 1 and 2 for New Waverly. No outs, leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the pitch to Colin Conover. It was almost called strike, and he just held up like a little inch. He said just barely a ball, 1-0. It's almost in the zone. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This time paints the corner. It's a strike, 1-1. Well, I'll tell you, those guys have a good eye down. That is so hard to do what they do. That's why I always acknowledge those umpires and the hard work that they do being out here for the love of the game. Here's the 1-1. That curve way too far to the outside. It's 2-1. Our count. Here's the pitch. This one hard hit, foul. Drops out there and foul territory off the first base line. Corners here at New Waverly at 310. Just a little bit more out there at left center and right center and straight away, but not much. Home plate umpire Faulkner calling for time as they chase that ball down over there in foul territory out at right. So the runners remain at 1 and 2 for New Waverly, leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. No outs. And a 2-2 count. Here it is on the way. Ooh. Boy, that was a nasty looking pitch, and it just stayed a little too high. 3-2. Good eye by Colin Conover. Ogden pitch. Oh, inchworm. And he'll reach on a walk, and for the second time tonight, we'll have bases loaded for New Waverly.
Bases loaded here for Jace Card.
So Sanderson over to third, Rayleigh to second. And Conover reaching on the payoff walk. Take a second of the order, the shortstop, Jace Card. Here's the first pitch to him, too far to the outside. Always enjoyed Jace, great young man on this team also, and he just likes to have fun. He's a great guy. He comes out and hangs out during the basketball broadcast and chats with us, and a good ball player here. This one, though, comes in for a strike. It's related to Coach Justice, Raven Justice at Sam Houston Women's Basketball. And I appreciate Coach Justice. He sent me a birthday message a couple of weeks ago. I didn't see it till last night, and I sent her a message about how much I enjoy talking to Jace. He's a great young man. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Something I always remind folks that we are so blessed to be here in this area in Southeast Texas. It's just good people, and it's always just great culture down here. Here's the 1-2. This one swung on and chopped foul off the third base line as it rolls softly in front of the New Waverly dugout and Coach Compton. That count remains at 1-2. Jace battling here. Ogden with bases loaded, no outs. Here's the 1-2. Pulled back and a good eye by Jace Card. It's 2-2. Man, it went from smelling like popcorn to like fried Spam all of a sudden, Ty. I don't know what's going on. Here's the 2-2. Another high upstairs and another great eye by Jace Card. So he was down, now he's ahead 3-2, and a payoff pitch coming up. One more comes across here, and a run will be forced in for New Waverly. Ogden doesn't want that to happen. Here's the payoff pitch. High up, and a run forced in on a walk. Sanderson will come around and score that sixth run. Rayleigh over to third. Con over to second, and Card over to first, and that'll take us to the catcher, Max Tomahawk Tomzak. 5-0, now 6-0. New Waverly lead with no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. I guess they heard me a while ago, and I said let's put up 5 more and wrap this up in the fifth. Here's the first pitch on the way to Tom. Whoa, boy, he was ready to yank that one out of here big time. He swung hard. It was a miss. And it's 0-1. Here's the next pitch. This one hard, up in the air, and the infield fly. Third baseman should be able to have the grab, and he does easily. No opportunities for anyone to advance.
Brings up Jackson Hawthorne.
So we are one away. It'll bring up fourth in the order, cleaning up action, Jackson Hathorn. A lot of great folks joining us. Easton Drawdy in person tonight, but he's still messaging us on the YouTube channel. Here's another one way up into the air, and Ogden makes the grab for the second out.
Fly for the Bulldogs. Brings up Daniel Nixon.
And now Daniel Nixon. Fifth in the order, Nixon is 0 for 1. Reached on a walk, came around and eventually scored the fourth run back in the first. That was 4 of 5 runs. Then reached on a walk and was thrown out back in the third. So 2 away we are. New Waverly remains, bases loaded, leading 6-0. Here's the first pitch on the way to Nixon. Swung on. This one stays fair off the third base, and the third baseman not able to make the grab, and an error will bring in a run.
Run scores on the air. Brings up Otto Wineland.
So Rayleigh comes in and scores. Conover to third, Card to second, and Nixon over to first. Here's Otto Wineland. 7-0 New Waverly lead. Otto 1 for 1. Ooh, high, and that one ricochets off the net. And that's the only downfall to this short backstop is when those get away like that, you're not really going to advance as long as your catcher can just get back there. The backstop not very far away from home plate. And so even though that thing went way out of the reach of the catcher there on the wild pitch, he was able to get on it very quickly. Nobody had a chance to come in. Here's the 1-0. Curve to the outside. It was high on Otto Wineland. 2-0, the count. 7-0 New Waverly leads. Bottom of the fourth, 2 away. Runners on 1, 2, and 3. Ogden set to deliver. Here's the pitch. Ooh, that thing came across the line over here. 2-1. Called strike. That one close to the inside. Take us to 3-1. Wineland's got to do just keep an eye here. Here's the next pitch. Swung on late, fouled. Hard out there, and that one almost hit the bus. 3-2 to Wineland coming up. Payoff pitch. Haven't seen the insurance man had to go out there too much tonight. That one he may have to. Here's the payoff. Runners will start to move. And doesn't matter because it was inside. Another run scored on a forced walk.
Run scores on the walk. Brings up Trevor Tordesky.
Conover scores. Card to third. Card quickly. He's just dancing. And an error here is going to bring in another run as Card score. Boy, look at that young man. He is such an alert player. He's hyper. He's hyper, and that's a good thing to be in the game of baseball. And so now New Waverly at 9 runs. So runners on 1 and 2, 9-0 New Waverly. A lot of this damage coming in 2-out territory. Said they wanted to get to 10 and just put this thing away in the 5th. They've got an opportunity to do it here. Runners on 1 and 2. Here's Tradersky. The pitch on the way to him. High to the inside. It's a quick 2-0 count to Trevor. We are 1 away from batting around, by the way. Here's the 2-0. Runner stealing over to third, sliding and diving in time. Stolen base, New Waverly. That was Nixon with the stolen base. Wineland over at 1. Runners on the hot corners for the Bulldogs at 1 and 3. The count at 3-0. Quickly diving back is Otto Wineland over to first. Tradersky eagerly awaiting an opportunity here. Ogden taking his time with runners again at 1 and 3. Bulldogs lead 9-0, bottom of the fourth, 2 away. Here's the pitch. Runner will take off, and he may get stranded out there. They're going to bring in a run here. So that run will count. And the tag is made, but New Waverly gets to 10 runs. So Nixon comes in. That's what you wanted to do. You get to 10. And now it's up to just 3 more outs here on the defensive side for the Bulldogs, and we'll go into run rule time. We'll see, though. They're not going to give up. Trinity does not want to be shut out, and we'll have it for you when we come back. Top of the 5th here on SHN. It's Bulldog Baseball. Stay with us. Action Jackson Hathorn will come in to try to finish this one up here for New Waverly. And so he is on the bump here getting those warm-up pitches. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us here tonight on SHN. Camden Allred will head over to first now, so he's on the field over at first. Colin Conover remains.
Allred at first base.
New shortstop out there as well. I believe that is Jace Wells playing short.
Jace Wells short.
And here's the first pitch from Action Jackson.
The new pitcher is Jackson Hawthorne.
6, 7, and 8 here for Trinity. Matthew Bass, 2 pitches, 2 balls, 2-0 count. Next pitch to the outside as well is 3-0. Trying to wonder if somebody's standing on our antenna. Here's one in for a strike. It's 3-1. Our signal has completely deteriorated on our satellite right now. Here's the 3-1. Swung on over to first. Should be an oh, he couldn't hold on, trying to scoop it over. Here's Hathorn. Got him. Oh, nice play out there.
Nice hustle by Jackson for out number 1.
Allred was able to regroup and got him out there with Action Jackson. 1 away. New Waverly 2 away from wrapping this one up. John Garcia, the designated hitter, 0 for 1, struck out looking on a 1-2 for the third out, back in the second. Here's the first pitch to him. Boy, look at the heat brought there by Action Jackson. No, it's a ball, but man, he put some heat behind it. It's all that roofing he does with his dad out there, man. That builds up that arm. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. A little high to the inside, 2-0. Again, we are 1 away here in the top of the 5th. New Waverly 10-0 advantage. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Here's the next pitch. Dropped in strike. Beautiful pitch to even us up at 2-2. I'm not mistaken, first time we've seen Jackson pitching this year. I have a couple, just been a while. 3-2 count here. Been in a couple of times this year. Here's the payoff on the way. Swing and a miss. Oh, baby, he brought it. 2 away.
Out number 2 for Trinity.
Here's one more opportunity.
Brings up number 22, Arredondo.
It is Xavier Arredondo, the third baseman. Action Jackson. Coach Compton's telling the rest of his guys to move away, and just having a talk with Action Jackson out there. There's some smiles going on. He went out there to say, just kidding. Give him a pat on the back. We will have post-game with our SHN Sports Player of the Game. So make sure you stay there for that. And also our head coach, Aaron Compton. That will be on social media, though. We're going to cut back to music after this one's over. Here's the first pitch on the way, and a beautiful one it is across the plate for a strike, 0-1. Arredondo. Next pitch, swing and a miss. New Waverly, 1 strike away. Hathorn ready to wrap this one up. Left leg up, right-handed pitch. Dropped in, got him. New Waverly wins. So 1, 2, and 3 for Hathorn. And New Waverly will wrap up the regular season here tonight with a dub that will put them at 7-3. They will remain in that third spot. There's no chance to advance up due to Onalaska and the 2-game advantage that they have over New Waverly. Although if Onalaska loses, I guess tonight, technically they would drop. No, it would be 7-3, so it wouldn't matter. Cold Spring will hold at that 4th spot. Anderson Shiro at 8-1. Well, hey, for those of you on Spirit 94.3, thanks for hanging out with us too. The winning coach, Aaron Compton, and our SHN Sports Player of the Game. For the rest of you, we'll go back to music and programming on Spirit 94.3. Have a blessed night, everyone. We'll be right back on social media on the YouTube channel with our interview. Stay with us. All right, guys, Rob Hip down here. Ty, you got us upstairs? I got the thumbs up. My man up there taking care of business, kind of. Joined by two seniors tonight, Colin Conover and Action Jackson Hathorn. Colin, what's your nickname, dude? We didn't come up with one for you this year, man.
I go by CC.
CC, like the pizza, or?
I mean, you could call it that, CC.
I like it, man. Well, hey, senior year, and I'll ask Jackson the same thing, but I want to start with you, Colin. Special night, man. What was it like, hitting one off your pops there a few moments ago?
I didn't think he had it in him still. I didn't know if he was going to give me a strike or not, but he ended up giving me one, and I got a hold of it, so that was good.
I don't want to just say, hey, this is it, because this may be it on this field, but there's still a lot of baseball. You guys take care of Trinity tonight as you needed to, 10-run rule. Let's talk a little bit about this game and just this season in general. You guys finish up 7-3, a lot to be proud of this year as you fight hard. You play some tough teams, but you know what? You guys wrap up pretty well. You get that third seed heading into the playoffs. Talk about this year, man.
Well, there was a lot of ups and downs, and we came up from the downs, and, there's a lot more to come, and I'm happy with our seeding, Get past East Bernard. We have a good run at it, I think.
All 4 years playing here for New Waverly. What's the experience been like for you just putting on the Bulldog uniform? And pretty slick uniforms tonight, by the way, too, man.
It's a great experience. I think here at New Waverly we do a lot of things right, especially the little things. And, it's a great way to, go into manhood starting here at New Waverly,
What do you feel like has been the biggest difference this season maybe compared to other seasons as we wrap up district play and head into the postseason?
I think our team is more bonded together than it has been the last couple of years, and I think team bond is a really, really strong thing.
What would you say this guy next to you, what have you enjoyed just kind of with your senior counterpart over here? What has Action Jackson meant to you this season?
Well, me and him have been playing together since we could walk, and it's just awesome. Me and him getting to grow up together and experience this whole experience together. It's great to have somebody with you.
Since you've known him so long, what's one thing that annoys you about Jackson?
Maybe his hair and his smile.
Hair and smile. All right, man. Well, hey, there's a camera up there. Our guy woke up. Yeah. Who do you want to send a shout out to tonight, man?
To all the people watching, and my mom, my dad, my parents. I love y'all, and my little cousins, Wyatt, Silas, and Hollis.
All right. There you go, man. Well, hey, hang out with us for a moment because you got to stand next to Action Jackson. Slide over here. Hope you didn't mind the nickname this year, did you?
No, I didn't. I love it. I love it, man.
Well, you brought the action, man, all season long. Special night for you, too. Just like I asked Colin, what's this season been like for you, man, to wear the uniform one last time on this field?
It's awesome. I wouldn't trade it for the world with any of the people I got to do it with. We had our ups and downs, but it's taught us to fight through adversity, which we're going to have to handle in real life, in manhood, like Colin said. So it was awesome to be able to do it one last time and get a W on this field. It was really amazing.
The signature roof man over there, throwing a pitch to you. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being not so good, 10 being all right, Dad.
Probably -1.5 because he started off with one behind my back and then threw me a knuckleball. So he was coming to strike me out. He wasn't coming to have no sweet message. He was coming to get me.
How cool was that experience? I've covered a lot of high school baseball over, golly, man, probably 10 years, and I've never seen anything like this. I know, first time for you guys. What was that experience like? Just one last time, hitting one off your dad and then being able to round the bases?
It was very special. I really appreciate Coach Compton and his wife, Miss Megan, and the girls for all they do for us. They care way more about us as people at New Waverly than they do us as ball players, and I can't say thank you enough to them.
Well, the season's far from over, man. You guys lock up that third seed and playoffs on the horizon. What are you looking forward to as we head in, as we wrap up this district play in the regular season?
I'm looking to get through a tough team in East Bernard and try to make a run like Anderson Shiro did last year. We beat them for the district championship, and they went on a run. Their seeding not their seeding wasn't better, but they had a little easier run going to it once they got past East Bernard, and we're looking to do the same thing.
Awesome, man. Well, finally for you, camera's right up there. Who do you want to send a shout-out to tonight from the Action Jackson?
First of all, I got to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't be anywhere right now without him. And my entire family, both my moms, both my dads, my little brother Case is my best friend, and Allie Jo Hathorn, my little sister. She's a mess, but she gets me through it.
Hey, I did leave out one question. What annoys you about old Colin over here?
His hair.
Yeah,
his hair. I don't know why he's talking about my hair because he got worse hair than I do.
All right. Well, we'll fix that during the playoffs. So, all right, there he is, Action Jackson. Congratulations, man. Great guys. Colin, congratulations as we wrap it up with these two youngsters here, and looking forward to a great playoff run versus East Bernard, and we'll have that coverage for you as much as we can. And we'll talk with head coach Aaron Compton, though, as we wrap up here in just a few moments. And I want to let folks know that those games will probably be on the NFHS network. We're hoping to get the broadcast rights for that. But we'll close it out here with winning head coach Aaron Compton. Man, I'm so bad at, remembering, but I think 7-3, wrapped up 7-3. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't want to mess that up. And that's a good finish, third, and facing a tough East Bernard team. But, man, I don't want to look at that just yet. Let's talk about tonight, especially for these two seniors. What a special night it was for those guys and just for the families that were here, Coach.
Yeah, tonight was great. We've got two great seniors. They were sophomores when I came into New Waverly, so both of them were on varsity as sophomores, so I've had them for 3 years on varsity. They're special. They've been great for our program, great leaders, do everything right. Okay. But, yeah, it was a very special night for them just to go take care of business, like you said, against Trinity. And all this stuff afterwards, it's really neat. They're going to remember this for the rest of their lives.
Man, I said something earlier that it was cool, man. You know, it shows the heart of this team and the heart of you. And just, I know you saw this idea and you guys wanted to implement it. How cool is it tonight for the dads to come out here and throw pitches and to let those seniors run the bases?
Yeah, it was neat. You got some fans over here. Yeah. That was really special. Like I said, it's something that we saw, and like you said, wanted to implement it. I think the dads really enjoyed it, and you think back of I've got two, little girls, and I hope somebody lets me do that one day when they're playing softball or whatever. So it was really special and neat to see.
You put up with these guys over here, man. Hey, but you know what? It makes it a fun culture, right? Yeah.
It is. It was very fun.
Well, Coach, now, we kind of do look ahead now. You wrap up the season, last time playing on this field for some of these guys, and the playoffs are right on the horizon. I don't ever ask the question, what do you have to work on, because we don't want to give away anything, but what are you looking forward to? Kind of what is on the horizon as we dig in next week? I mean, it's here, and here we go.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to these guys doing what they've done all season. We've had some ups and downs, but when we have our ups, we're a pretty stinking good baseball team. So, from here on out, it's a 3-game series, and I'll take my chances with these guys, all of them in a 3-game series. I'm betting on them. So we're just looking forward to playing our brand of baseball, doing what we've worked on. We've been playing baseball for three-ish months now. So they've been working hard. Practices have been going great. And so I'm just looking forward to that, just getting into it and seeing what happens, hopefully making a run.
Coach, I'm always professional until that last game, and I do have to ask a fun question now. Is that okay? Yeah, so the last one, who has the better mustache? Is it Tradersky over here, or is it Tomahawk Tomzak?
I don't know. Like, with him standing right here, let's be honest. They're both really bad. Yeah. They're both pretty bad. But I'll say this. Trevor usually rocks his all year, and Max just brought his out when he kind of hit he was going through a little slump. So
fair weather stash.
The fact that he rocks it all the time, I'm going to have to go with Trev.
All right. Well, there it is. There it is from Coach Comp first. So, well, Coach, thanks for letting us be here. We're hoping to get those rights during the playoffs on the NFHS network. And congratulations with these guys, man. What a great group. And it's just been our privilege just to be up in that little box, man, and able to just play a very small part of watching these guys and watching what y'all do on the field. We couldn't be more proud of you, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do.
You bet. There he is, head coach Aaron Compton. Thank you, guys. And that will wrap it up tonight. We'll have that coverage coming at you, so stay tuned to the SHN Sports YouTube channel, also our Facebook page, as we will have the latest on playoff information. For all of us here at SHN, including our good friend Ty Stutler, who's up running the camera and a lot of the work behind the scenes, I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you tonight that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support, because I promise somebody out there tonight needs you. Hey, God bless all of you. God bless my friend Michael Francis. We're going to miss you, buddy. Good night, and God bless from New Waverly, Texas. We'll see you soon.